Hey guys, this is KG5IN. Just wanted to talk to you quickly about the radio setup and everything and kind of how I got it all wired in. What you see here is the faceplate with a nice little scratch right there. Unfortunately, didn't get put away like it was supposed to and banged around a little bit. Anyways, it happens. So try to keep my stuff looking nice, but you know, things happen. Anyways, I'll go ahead and kind of demonstrate my whole setup and everything. So if you're looking at the dash kind of like this, you know, looking over, you can see that I've got it set up right here to where if I'm sitting here driving, I can easily just see what stations I'm on. I do have it turned down so it's not so bright because, you know, nighttime. But anyways, the way I have it set up is I've just got the metal bracket like this on it. I've got a magnetic skosh that's plugged into the, what do you call it? The air vent. And then it just sits there like this, does just fine, you know, so being that it's magnetic and everything, it holds up just fine. The nice thing too is because it's exposed, it's up high, the GPS antenna right here picks up pretty good signal from the GPS. And then, you know, power wise, it does stay on when the truck is turned off. I haven't found the correct port for it to turn off when the truck turns off, but that could just turn into a positive thing anyways. Sorry, kid's rolling around on his little scooter. So I have to power it off by hand. One thing would be nice is if there was a timeout on it, you know, that you could set, but someday they may have an update for that. Go ahead and peel this apart to show you the wiring and how that's all put together. That just peels off like that. Everything just kind of peels apart. And right here you see I've got one of those, it's called what's it called? It's like a extend-a-fuse, right? And then that plugs in. I've got a wire that's soldered together and heat shrinked right here. Then that all runs down into this channel. Now I'm gonna have you use your imagination because it is a pain sometimes to get this off, but the wires, you know, up here, it tucks down, runs down inside this. Then you peel this whole channel off, which I've got a nice little boo-boo on it right there, but it peels off, all comes out, and the wires run underneath this, over, and then back behind here, I've got the radio tucked into a spot right here on the floor. Not the ideal location, obviously. You don't want to have your stuff sitting on the floor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount it up here on this bar via probably zip ties. Then of course the wire for the microphone is right here. You typically want to tuck it under this way so that when you scoot the seat forward and stuff, you're not scooting on it. But just, you know, try to keep an eye out for that. Or you could zip tie part of the wire to this and then up so that it just stays in one place. That way when you do scoot the seat forward or whatever, depending on who's driving, then that's not going to be a problem. And then here's the mic, and I typically just have it sitting right here just like that. As far as the antenna goes, I've run the wire underneath, or ran the wire underneath this rubber piece. Then, you know, get that out of the way. Right here is the magnetic base of the antenna. It all just kind of pulls out. And because this is steel, it is magnetic. It sits on that. Now, if you're driving down the highway and stuff, you can put it on the top right there. Then what I do is I screw the antenna in. Now, forgive me, I know my antenna looks terrible, but it still functions exactly the same as if it was brand new, literally. anyways, so there you go. So that's the setup right there. It's kind of what it looks like, you know. And again, you can have it up there. The wires, when it runs down like this, I typically just tuck it all back inside, and unfortunately it's like this. Now the ideal way obviously is to go straight out the back and then between, right through there and up. I haven't done that yet. I do plan on doing something like that. Drill a hole and then get like a little rubber grommet or something and then seal it all off with silicone as well. That way you're not pinching the wire, because the dielectric in these, if it gets too close to the grounding outside, it just doesn't perform well. They also make a thin version of the wire as well, super thin, which is ideal for this. So invest a little bit more into a better wire, obviously. And then that's the setup right there. So as far as audio though, so what I'll do is I'll do a little demonstration of the audio inside the truck with the door closed, obviously. And let me go ahead and turn this back on. I turned it off before I, started using it, just to keep it from burning up or anything, burning up the head. But here we go. So I'll just do a little mic check and see if someone's out there. This is KG5IN doing a radio and mic check, antenna check, all that good stuff. Now, you heard the response from the radio, or from the repeater. I didn't have the volume all the way up. I think I had the volume at like 60-70%. But if I turned it all the way up, it's a lot louder, obviously. This is KG5IN, over. You heard that, so pretty loud. I guess everyone's out doing their thing because nobody's responding. But anyways, this is KG5IN clear 7.3s. So I turned it down quite a bit, obviously. And I'll just go ahead and turn it off. Unfortunately, got to hold the button down to turn it off. That's the only pain in the butt. So if you're traveling, and you forget to do that, I don't think it's going to drain your battery too fast. But obviously ideal for you to just go ahead and do that, to turn it off. Or better yet, find a fuse that the radio can automatically turn on and off with the vehicle. The way it sits right now, the way it is it doesn't do that. So I have to remember to turn it off if I'm not using it, especially if I'm leaving the truck parked somewhere overnight and this stays on. It may drain it to the point where I'd have to have it jump started. But other than that, so this is pretty much the setup. This is obviously a Chevy. This is a Silverado. I think you can do the same thing in your Dodge or Ford or Toyota or Honda Ridgeline, depending on the vehicles that you guys have out there. SUVs, it doesn't matter, right? So anything to get your radio in the vehicle so you could have a comfortable setup. It's easy to see. I'll turn it back on here again. Obviously it's dim because of driving, and sometimes I ride in the night and I don't want it too bright, but you can adjust the brightness very easily through your display settings. But overall, the radio itself is pretty nice. I like this Yaesu XM or XDR 400, and yeah, it's pretty sweet. So anyways, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me and let me know. I've got to figure out where to go on the settings here to adjust the brightness, because I forget where to go. But oh, there it is, LCD brightness. Boom, look how bright that is. So it looks pretty good, that's it. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. I'll be around to try to answer them the best that I can. And otherwise, this is KG5IN, and I'll call it clear in 7 3s. Have a good one.